So, this is one of my trumpets, and this is my favourite trumpet. It's a Bach 43. Most people who own a Bach trumpet have a 37 in the UK, and this instrument's basically the same, except the bell is different, everything else is identical. Bell has a slightly wider throat, and I think it makes a more versatile instrument, but this one's got a few differences to it, there's a few modifications, which have turned it from a good trumpet into a very good trumpet. I'll show you what they are. The first thing I noticed about this instrument when I got it was that the upper register didn't lock in very well. It got a bit squirrely up the top, so fractionally heavier valve caps. These are standard Bach ones. I bought these second hand very cheaply, and they don't have any impact on negative impact anywhere else in the register, but in the upper register they help things to lock in a little bit better. The other things that you won't be able to see, but I will show you: brass valve guides. These are off an artisan trumpet. They cost me £10 for the set. They make a big difference compared to plastic ones. They help everything to just resonate more freely. The instrument feels quite different. People get concerned about the noise. Part of the problem is that Bach don't polish the inside of these slots here because they use plastic valve guides. So I had to polish these with micro mesh. Now, micro mesh is quite expensive, abrasive material, but I have it anyway for other purposes, and it removes minute amounts of metal, so it really isn't an issue, but it does polish them up. The other thing is that the valve springs, top and bottom, have got a slight amount of grease on them, because the noise that you get from valves with brass guides is caused by the torsion of the spring. You just put tiny film of grease on the top and bottom, and it allows it to rotate when it needs to, and you don't get the noise. The other thing that I've got on here is that these tops and the valve stem are made of brass. These are by Harrelson. They call them high efficiency valve stems. The inside of this is machined so that it takes the spring and holds it in the correct position. It stops it going to the left or the right, and that actually helps to stop even more of the noise. So these valves are completely silent in operation. But again, the brass valve stems help to dampen down the vibration in the valve block and allow more of the energy to be passed through the instrument. That wasn't an expensive thing either. So I also have a cosmetic change to the instrument, which is that I've got acrylic tops in the valves. And the reason for this is that I had a 37 which was missing a valve button, and when I went to sell it I took the ones off this, and when I went to get new ones I bought these instead, so that's a trivial thing. Up at this end is a Monette B15M. Basically this is like a Bach 1X, so it's a 1C rim with a very deep bowl-shaped orchestral cup. The problem with Monette mouthpieces is that the end diameter is larger than a normal mouthpiece, which means you end up with a rather large gap. Rather than having this unsold and having it modified, I put Harrelson shim in here, which makes up the gap, and well, it reduces the gap, so it fits tight against the lead pipe, but gives me a little bit of, gives me an 1/8 of an inch gap there, or less than that actually, as I go for a smaller gap. And that really improved the response of the instrument. So I've done a few clips on this just in the kitchen, just with my mobile phone microphone, let you hear what it sounds like. I think this is a better instrument than the 37 unless you're playing in an orchestra. If all you're doing is orchestral, then you probably want a 37 because it's more of an orchestral sound. This is broader. But the advantage is that if you put a smaller mouthpiece in it, you can use it in a big band, or you use it for any other purpose. It's a more versatile instrument. So I'll put some clips up. They're done without music, so you'll hear a few trip ups here and there, but it gives you an idea of the sort of things that it can do.